Come and take a ride with me as we visit the campuses of Spelman College and Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. First, we begin this journey right here at North Avenue. If you make a left right there, that'll take you directly to the Georgia Institute of Technology, also known as Georgia Tech. I just added that in for perspective so that you can see it's about 2 miles away from the Atlanta University Center. Now, here at this intersection begins the neighborhood of English Avenue. If you have seen the 2011 fine film, Snow on the Bluff, it is reflecting the neighborhood over there known as English Avenue, which parts of it were called the Bluff for various reasons, but that's where Curtis Snow lived in the film. And so I just wanted to also add that in for perspective so that you can see what we are working with here. Now we are approaching the neighborhood of Vine City to the right. And now you really can see the Atlanta downtown skyline straight ahead. And so I'll share some of more of those features. But if we were to make a left at this intersection, Ivan Allen Boulevard, it would take you to the Georgia Aquarium and several other museums. You could turn off real easily and get to the Centennial Olympic Park, the Children's Museum. There's a Civil Rights Institute over there. So that's really like the museum area, museum district, downtown district. The Ferris wheel is there. And so that area is right here. And I say all that because you'll begin to understand why real estate over here is at a premium and why it can be really difficult for students to find housing off campus because they're competing with short term rentals and folks that want to be near these attractions. Like to the left, right here, we're passing the Georgia World Congress Center. They have a lot of events and conferences there. That tall building you see to the left is actually a hotel, the Signia Hotel. It's the newest thing that's over here in this area, but it also hosts a lot of conferences. And then, of course, you see this emblem, this Mercedes Benz emblem. This is the Mercedes Benz Stadium where the Atlanta Falcons play, and they have a lot of other large events and concerts. When Beyonce comes to town, this is where she performs. There is a MARTA station, that's the local rail. We just passed under the pedestrian walkway to get to the other side of the street. That was the Vine City Station. This is still the Vine City neighborhood to the right. To the left, I think that's considered more downtown, but you see it starts to look a little bit more residential, just slightly more and more residential the further that we drive. And so we'll pass a few other landmarks that you should know here, chiefly Pascal's. The Pascal's restaurant we're about to pass up here on the left is well known for, there it is, right there. It's well known because it is where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. used to eat and meet with his comrades to plan events of the civil rights movement. It was actually originally in a different location, but it has since been moved to this location on Northside Drive. That's the street that we're driving down now. And so, like I said, you see um, more residential apartments on the left and the right side of the street. Uh, it would be ideal for student housing, but I don't know how many students live over here. I guess quite a few. As we approach this next intersection, if you were to make a right, it would take you down the street where you would see Spelman, and then it would ease on into Clark Atlanta University. And so here we are at Spelman. This wall to the right, you can see some of the blue banners for Spelman College. All of this is Spelman's campus. We're riding along the back or the side of it. And as we make this right turn, it's still Spelman on the right, which you see by those blue banners. And then on the left is the Morehouse School of Medicine, not to be mistaken for or confused with Morehouse College. Morehouse School of Medicine is its own separate entity and not an HBCU. But this is Spelman's campus on the right. So you see how close everything is down here together. And this big building on the left is named for Hank Aaron. You'll see his statue right there. There it is on the left. And then another Spelman College sign and a large building to the right. And now when we make this turn, that's Morehouse College on the left side of the street, Spelman College on the right side until now. Here is Morehouse College on the left and the right side of the street. You see the sign as we're approaching the roundabout that takes you into one entrance of the campus. I would say this is like the main entrance now because I don't see the other gates open. But you see, you have to stop and talk to the Morehouse police officer, state your business if they will even allow you to come on campus, whatever it is that you need to do. I can stop and chop it up with the security guard, figure out what he's talking about, especially since I blocked the crosswalk for this young man. But uh, he made his way around. That's what he gets for going to the crosswalk, nerd. All right, well, uh, I have been permitted onto Morehouse's campus. You see to the right those awnings. That's where the bookstore is. There are a few restaurants. There's a barber shop. And then I'm making this right turn. The King Chapel is to the left. You can see a king statue there very briefly. But I am turning to the right because on the right side of the street is Clark Atlanta University. On the left side of the street is Morehouse College. I was trying to drop some stuff off at Clark Atlanta University, and so I was trying to get into this big building that you see on the right, but the parking lot gate was closed, and so I pulled into the loading dock. One of the great things about driving a van is that when I'm near a loading dock, people think I'm making deliveries or I'm supposed to be there, and so sometimes that works in my favor. But this particular time, I was not trying to stay in the loading dock because it was still a bit far and I had to carry some heavy stuff. And so I eventually just turned around and waited until somebody who had a parking pass to get into the gate came and opened the gate. So thanks for coming with me on this quick tour, just a quick riding tour so you can see a little of the Atlanta landscape and see what some of the colleges of the Atlanta University Center look like.